Good morning, beautiful, beautiful people. How is everybody? This is a very unusual time for me to come here and go online. But last night I fell asleep next to my daughter, which hasn't happened in a while. But, it felt good. And then afterwards, I was like, oh my God, I cannot go live anymore. I'm just like, my brain was, smashed. So here I am. This morning, just on my way to the office. I haven't been in the office in a really long time, so it's very exciting. I feel like a new person, getting out. Everybody had to get out of the house this morning. We all had to be out of the house by 8 a.m. And I'm like, oh my God, this hasn't happened in like 1.5 years with Corona. So it was very, very peculiar, different experience that we completely forgot what it is like when you have to get everybody out of the house by 8 a.m. So my friends, today, first of all, welcome to Conscious Champagne Chat number 50. We did it. We made it to 50. So, hey, celebration for the all-rounder. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. So, and I think it's just about the perfect topic to talk about crushing fear of success to have it all. And, this is kind of a tricky one because, quite frankly, I had no idea that such a thing as fear of success actually exists. But it does, believe it or not. And it's a very creepy fear that kind of sits inside of our heads, and we have very often no idea it sits there. And so let me talk you through how fear of success actually shows up in your life and how you can pay attention to it and learn to put it aside so you can move on to having it all. And, having it all is a big, big, big word. And I want you to think about what having it all means for you. Like, what is having it all for you? Let me know here in the chat if you have your own definition. Same thing with the success. Like, success is very subjective, right? But in classical terms, success often is determined by, your job status or, your financial status, the size of your house, or like a lot of external material things. And without us even knowing, we're like chasing them. We're trying to get, grow in terms of like getting the bigger house, getting the bigger car, getting the next promotion, getting more money. Like that's what we very often feel like that makes us successful, right? So in 2016, when I personally was at a crossroad of having to make a decision of, am I going to stay in my corporate career? Am I going to go through this stress? I was working crazy hours back then. I was like the classical, typical high achiever syndromes, just doing, working. And I was at this crossroad where my kids were tiny, that I was like, I just can't, like, it's impossible. I cannot do this anymore. It's not worth it. It's just too hard. My husband was working full time as well. We were both traveling quite often, and it didn't feel good. It felt exhausting. I didn't feel like I was a good mom. It triggered a lot of my anger and all that stuff that I've been sharing a few times in here. So what I didn't realize though back then is when I remember really this evening when I was lying in bed. It was a devastating evening again. The bedtime routine went terrible. And I thought I need to make a decision. Like, I just can't keep going on like this. But what I didn't realize back then was that at the root of me feeling like I can't handle this situation anymore was actually fear of success, way more than fear of failing. I was afraid to fail as a mom, but that was a consequence of me being scared to be successful in my job. The thing is, I knew I could do it. Like, I knew I have the capability, I have the skills. I was always treated like a high potential, that I could be successful in my profession. I never doubted that. But with the idea of being promoted to the next level came a whole range of fears that come from the fear of being successful. Because if you think about it, success, being really successful and getting what you want, like it would literally have meant that I had everything I ever wanted. I had it all, right? I had the amazing position at job. I had like the 2 kids. I had an amazing husband. It's a very scary idea. It's a really scary idea. And so let me tell you where this fear actually comes from. From a very early age on, we have been trained to not wanting things. And so when we stand here as an adult and we desperately want something, there's a whole bunch of beliefs that are coming up, which are around like, who am I to be wanting all these things, right? We are so not used to ask for what we want because we label these people as, oh, like they're entitled, they're arrogant. Who do you think you are that you can have all these things? And so that was one of the beliefs that was feeding into my fear of being successful. And along with that comes, if I'm actually successful, if I get this promotion, if I get more money, if I buy like my dream house, what are people going to think of me? They're going to judge me in my capabilities as a mom, right? So fear of success also has fear of judgment attached to it, which we've already talked about. Because there is a certain image we associate with super successful people. And a lot of the times we don't like these successful people. Rich people we consider as successful, but very often we have a terrible picture about rich people in our minds. They're greedy, they're snobbish, they think there's something special. They take out certain rights that, what they shouldn't be doing. And so what you have to realize is that when we want to get to somewhere, when we want something, we very often have a terrible negative image of what that success would look like. We're actually scared of it. We're scared of it. And then what happens is we self-sabotage. It's so pretty, you guys. It's so pretty because, again, we self-sabotage ourselves. We sabotage ourselves and we have no idea that we're doing it. And sabotage turns out in a way of, so like for me, in my case, I knew I would be able to take the next position, but I was scared. And so what would I do? I would tell myself I can't handle it. I would tell myself nobody's going to like me. I would tell myself I'm going to be a terrible mom. I would tell myself I'm going to see my kids even less. If I'm going to be successful in my job, it means I have to work even more because that's what I saw. I saw people working crazy hours, right? I had the idea of success only comes with a price. And so I was convinced I have a price to pay. And the price I was convinced I had to pay was the price when it came to family time. The love from my kids towards me. I thought I was super selfish, just going and pursuing my career. And so do you see how all these ideas we have around being successful hold us back? They hold us back. We actually don't play to the full potential that is sitting inside of us because we have all these crazy ideas about I won't have enough time. I'm not going to be a good person. I won't have, I won't be able to see my kids as much. But that is when you live whatever you want to have, live that position, live that success based on how everybody else around you lives it. And so the very first thing in order to crush the fear of success is, first of all, become aware of it. If you really want something and you actually get it, what does that say about you? What does that mean? What price do you have to pay? That's the very first assessment you have to do. Now, the second thing that holds us back is we actually often think we're not worthy. We're not worthy. Who am I to earn all this money? Who am I to be, to holding this position in corporate, and who am I to like now even have a coaching business on the side that, by the way, is pretty damn successful. Like, I had to work a lot on this, a lot on it, to say, I don't need anybody else's permission. Is this what I want? Is this what my soul is calling me to do? Yes, it is. So I had to understand and learn that I am worthy for just being me. I don't have to prove anything. What we've been taught at a very early age on is you need to do in order to become and in order to get something. And that is the cause of a lot of struggle and pain in us and in our children. No, what you need to understand is you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. You just need to believe that you are worthy of it. That's the thing that is holding you back the most. You have to believe you're worthy of it, and you have to break through the who am I to be having this. You are the most marvelous person on the planet. That's the way I want you to think about yourself. You are so truly amazing. It's just hidden inside of here. It's hidden inside in here because for years and years, you've constantly been fed to keep your self-worth at a very low level, and that you have to constantly prove yourself in order to be deserving the success that you want. You don't. You do not have to prove anything. And I get it. It's such a weird idea. It's so against what's been ingrained in us. It's so against what we've been taught. But you are worthy. When your baby is born, don't you love it to the fullest, and your baby hasn't done anything? Your baby hasn't proved anything to be worthy because your baby is already worthy the minute it is born. And so are you. And this actually never changes. So please take responsibility for who you want to be and who you are, and become aware that you have this fear of success, which we believe comes at a price, which then leads us to self-sabotage, and we believe we can't handle this. And so that's the very first thing. Now, the second step to break through and crush your fear of success is, again, you are worthy for just who you are, which means you have to be it before you see it, right? Remember, we've talked about this concept before. It's like being successful. If you do being successful the way everybody around does it, it might not work for you, because most people don't know how to be successful the easy way, the being way. Most people only know how to be successful the hard way, the sweating tears way, the putting in extra hours, putting in long hours. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. I fully agree. Being a mom, wanting to smash a career, and being successful by putting in a lot of time never works. That's going to make you quit. So we have to, when we tap into our own powers, when we really tap into our talents, our strengths, and who we are, and we fully own that, you can do it your way. You can absolutely do it your way. I don't write emails at 7 a.m. in the morning, and I don't write emails at 10 p.m. But that's what I thought for a very long time. That's what I have to do in order to be successful. Until I tried my way, until I established my principles, and until I learned to just play to my strengths and my talents, and things just fell into my lap all the time. All the time. And you can do that too. It's just about removing your insecurities. It's just about removing you're not worthy. It's just about removing all the things. I am not good enough. That's it. That's it. Sounds easy. It takes months. It takes work. But you can absolutely do it, because remember, emotions run the show, and they are emotions. And if you learn to read them, to regulate them, and to use them for you, you can clear any fears you have and befriend them. Like, you can't eliminate fears. They're not going to go away. They're here. But you can make them your friend. And this goes with fear of judgment, this goes with fear of success, with fear of failure, and all the ones we've talked. You can befriend them and use them to discover your true inner powers. All right, my friend. Tomorrow we have our last fear, which is fear of abandonment. And this is the deepest of the deepest of the deepest that all of us humans have. And becoming aware of that is going to make you literally unstoppable. Okay, just a quick reminder, I will be back here tomorrow. Our Rapid Anger Relief Mastermind is open for our next intake. We've already had a few beautiful people signing up, so thank you, congratulations. And if you want to join, this is where we're teaching you the foundations, starting with anger, but we're teaching you the foundations of how to clear any unwanted emotions and how to use your emotions to become unstoppable and build your mom leadership. So go check it out. You can either get it as a self-study for $37 or you can book the 12-week life coaching for $297. If you have any questions, Nympha is here to help you. I'm here to help you. Let us know. Reach out. And I wish you a wonderful day. Mwah.